Hi everybody, today I'm going to teach you how to convert objects from The Sims 3 or The Sims 4 to The Sims 2. This process is actually very simple once you get a hang of it, and it should only take you around 15 minutes to a half an hour to complete. Let's get started. What you'll need: Simpie, TSR Workshop, Milkshape 3D, an image editor of your choice, and a little bit of time to learn. That's pretty much about it. Now, what we're first going to do is open TSR Workshop. A lot of people do not like this program for various reasons, such as that. However, we don't need to worry about it. This may take a little bit of a while to open. However, just sit tight and it should be okay. What you want to do is you want to go to Create New Project and click that. Now, this is all laid out for you very simply. Hit Object, and it will read the game data of the games that you have installed. And make sure you have it installed in the right place. For what we're going to be converting something very simple. I'm going to start with a chair, which would be under Comfort, and this is a Sims 3 conversion. And as you click on things, you can see various chairs. And let's just pick one out at random. What about this one? It's from University Life. Then you just hit Next. You're going to want to remember this. So it's the University Tuft chair. Hit Next. And OK. It will load the meshes. Depending on your computer, this may take a little bit of time. And there we have it. Don't worry about what's on the bottom here, because that's just rendering the shadows as a different map than it should. Alright, our chair looks fine in there. Go to Mesh, and make sure it's on high level of detail, and hit this, Export. You're going to want to make a new folder, and this new folder is going to contain all of the stuff that you need. So, name it Tuft Chair. Now, down here it will say Workshop Object. You want to convert that into Wavefront Object. And name it the name of your object, and also Mesh. And hit Enter. Export complete. Now for your textures. Go to Textures, and this may look a little bit confusing, but don't worry. Hit this and hit Export. OK. And then, as it says DDS, you want to make it a PNG. Tuft Chair Texture 1. And hit Enter. Now, you see the multiplier here? You're going to want to click on it, and then Edit will appear. Hit Edit, and you will see the base texture. This is only important if you intend to create more colors, or if you're going to be uploading this so that other people can. It's a very useful tool. Hit Export, and it should already come with a name. Just leave it and make sure that it's a PNG. The reason is that not everybody has an NVIDIA card or can use DDS utilities, which is the default package style for these. Alright, X out. That's all you need TSR Workshop for. Good job. Now, open Simpie. This may look a little bit confusing at first, but I promise it will be okay. Make sure before you do this that you have CEP installed. I will link it in the description. What you want to do is you want to hit Start on Object Workshop. It will load all of your different objects that you have installed in TS2. This may take a little bit of a while, so go and get a drink, or maybe a snack, the first time that it loads, especially if you have all expansions and stuff packs. Then, after it's loaded, you want to go to the compatible area, such as seating, because we are converting a chair. Now, this is more of a dining chair, so go to Dining Room. You want to find a chair that has the ability to be recolored, as not all of them do. But you also want to find one that's compatible with all games. The one that I like to use is the Cowboy's Caboose chair because It's from the base game and is also able to be recolored. Hit Next. Your task is going to be to clone it. Make sure that this is compatible down here and hit Start. Now, this is going to come up. What you want to do is highlight that and hit Backspace. Now, put your creator name and then 3 to 2 and the name of your object underscore mesh. Hit Update. You're gonna want to copy that with Control C and hit OK. Now, navigate to your folder and save that. There you go. Now, this part is going to get a little bit intensive, so again, if you haven't taken a break already, please do.
When the night gets dark, take a break.
Conan had a snack or a rest? Good. Now we're on to the slightly more difficult part. First, you want to input your GUID. A GUID is like an individual address. It's the object's social security number in a way, in that it only belongs to that object and nothing else. You want to make sure that it's not identical to anything else, or else the game might get confused and crash or disable one of the objects. Now, you want to hit Get GUID. This may take a second. In order to register an account, you have to put in a username, a password, and an optional email. Then just hit Set. I already have mine inputted. My user GUID is unique. After that, hit Register New User. Of course, I've already done this. Now, under New Object, you want to Control V, and there's your object name. If you didn't copy it, it's right up here. Now just register your object, and that's it. Then check Update All MMATs. For the sorting, our seating is in Seating Dining Room, and our room sort is going to be Dining Room. Now, under Raw Data, wow, this may look confusing, right? Just go over from hexadecimal to decimal, and over to price. That's the price in the catalog. Now, what's a good price for this object? Let's say 400. Then, just hit Update and Commit. Go to Tools, Object Tools, Fix Integrity, and then just hit OK. What this does is it renames, as you can see in the italics, a bunch of stuff to make sure that matches your object. It's linking everything together. Then hit Save. Go to the GMDC, or Geometric Data Container. Open this one. You'll see a bit of a blue box. Now, you've made sure this is your ground shadow. What you want to do is you want to go to Groups and click that and hit Delete. We don't need a shadow for this object. I'm not going to teach you how to make shadows because a lot of people play with shadows off anyways, and any and all attempts I've made at making shadows did not turn out well. Now we're going to go over to Chair Dining. Hit Preview, and it will load a preview of, oh, look, it's the chair. What we want to do is export this. Now, it will just export as a name. Just hit Save. You're good. Now, what you want to do is you want to minimize Simpie and open up Milkshape 3D. I'll put a link to this in the description if you don't already have a copy ready. Now, hit Import, Wavefront Object. Navigate to your folder and find the one that you just exported. It will show up as the Cowboy's Caboose chair. It may look a little bit sunken in, but that's proper. The way that the game uses chairs is slightly different from other objects in that they're sunken into the ground and attached to the sim as they sit on them. Now what you want to do is import again, except the one that you exported from The Sims 3. It's hovering a bit, yes? Now what you want to do is select and hit Delete. Okay, that deleted the chair and not the shadow. Then you hit Edit, Undo, Remove Group, or Control Z. Now you know that that's not the group to remove, so remove Group 1, and that removes the shadow. Double click on Group 0 again. Now, this may take a little bit of practice, but what you want to do is hit Control and click here and drag down. so that way you can see the entire bottom of the object. Then you want to hit move and drag down with your mouse in a straight line until they match. Good. It looks like they're clipping through each other. Then you want to go to the surfaces one and delete that. There. File, export, wavefront object, navigate to your folder, and overwrite the one that you exported. And hit yes. You're done. You don't want to save this. It's okay. Go back into Simpie. I hope you left it open. And hit import. You want to import what you just exported. And this will pop up, the mesh group importer. Your action will be to replace surfaces, or whatever the mesh name is called. Then hit OK. Now, you want to hit preview. There, your mesh has been imported, but not the textures yet. Hit Fix TGI and commit. OK. Save. Now, go to the TXTR or texture image. Go here. The texture is quite small. You're going to want to navigate to your folder and find out the size of your texture, 512 by 512. Add. So 128, 256, 512. And then you hit build. And you want to input 512 by 512. It will be the right texture size. Hit update all sizes after right clicking. Hit fix TGI and commit. Okay, save. And then just navigate away from it and back to it. It will still be transparent. Now, you want to right click and hit import and find your first texture. Right click, update all sizes, fix TGI, and commit. This will start becoming automatic after a few minutes of trying it because it's only a few combinations. You want to make sure that everything is the right texture size or else it will generate errors. 512 by 512 is always going to be a 10 bitmap level. 1024 is always going to be 11, etc. 512 is usually the size of a texture, or 1024. They're always going to be the same number on both sides of the image because uneven textures do not work in the game. You will either have to stretch them or alter them to get them to work. Now, navigate back to the GMDC and to your chair. Hit preview. There, your chair is textured. Use your right mouse button to rotate. Hit fix TGI and commit once more, just for safety reasons. Save your package. Now, I'm going to get a little bit complicated here. Go into the TXMT or material definition. Go to surfaces. You'll see a bunch of stuff here that looks really complicated, but you only need to know a few things. Reflectivity is how reflective it is. If you don't want the object to be reflective at all, you want to put 0.1 or 0.2, and then hit fix TGI and commit. Save it. Now, go down. Matte Spec Coef. This is standard material spec coefficient. Now, this is just how the material reflects itself. The power is how powerful that is. Since our reflection is smaller, we don't need to alter this. A lot of this stuff you don't need to know, such as the differential coefficient, until you get more advanced in modding. Always make sure that your base texture enabled is true. There. Save your package, and now we're going to go on to catalog description. Click it. It might take a little bit to load depending on the language of your game. Now, where it says Cowboys Caboose Chair, you want to type in Tuft Chair, and then 3 to 2 by, and then your creator name. Hit default lang only, which will make sure that anyone playing any version of the game will be able to see this, and then hit commit file. Save. You're done. But if you want to add more colors, we're going to have to start over. Hit start over and open. You want to open your file. Now, your task is going to be recolor. This is going to get really easy, I promise. Hit start, and then click on that, but instead of mesh, We're going to put recolor 1. Now, right click on this, import, and then double click the texture that you want. Update all sizes, fix TGI, commit. OK, and save. Start over, open, mesh, start, and then you want to make it recolor 2, etc., etc. This way, it's much simpler for people who are downloading your stuff to understand which recolor is which, than to have a confusing file name like I used to do. And after a while, you're going to get very used to this and be able to do this in about 15 minutes. All that's left is to go into the game and test your file. So let's do that right now. What you're going to want to do is highlight all of your package files. These are the ones that you want. You don't need these. Those are just for creating purposes. Now right click, add to archive with WinRAR or whatever RAR program that you use, and then tuft chair, and then by your creator name. And make sure that it says 3:2 somewhere in there so people know that it's not your mesh. And then you want to extract that to your downloads folder.